Welcome to the Virginia is for Laughers podcast, brought to you by the funny Womax and Friends. If you're looking to get more out of your Shenandoah Valley experience, then this is the podcast for you. You'll meet interesting people, musicians, and comedians that perform here and find out more about what you can do and see. Whether you live here or plan to visit, listen to explore what makes our unique slice of heaven. Now here's your host, Don Davis Womack.
Hello, laughers. I just wanted to share from the heart that I've been having a lot of conversations lately on the podcast and off about where we've been and where we're going. And if you've been tuning in, you know the show's shifting a bit to reflect that growth. And I'm so excited to bring you into this new evolving chapter. You will still get the stories, the laughs, and the people doing bold, creative things in this world. And today's guest is no exception. Donna Lewis is a sharp, hilarious stand-up, improv, and sketch comedy performer based out of Hampton, Virginia. She's opened for comedy legends like Marsha, Warfield, Maria Bamford, and Michael Ian Black. And you've seen her at the top clubs across the country from LA to New York City and festivals like Big Pine and the World Series of Comedy. She's also the founder of her own improv and sketch group from Push Comedy Theater. And she's headlining at the new comedy club at Massanutten Resort on June 19th. Welcome back to the podcast, Donna. It's great to have you back today.
Hi, and thank you for having me. Pleasure to be here.
It is, and you look fabulous. I just am so excited about this new look. It's dazzling on you. So can't wait to share that with the laughers who are watching. And those of you that are listening know she looks fabulous. And you can see her in person on June the 19th at Massanutten Resort. But before we get into talking with Donna, just want to say real quick that we are super excited to be a part of the Audible Creator Program, which offers you a free audiobook when you click on the link in the show notes. And when you subscribe for a free trial with them, we get a little kickback that helps continue to make this podcast grow, to provide more amazing content to you. So let's get into that and dig into it with Donna on this first question. Donna, it's been it's been a minute since you've been on the podcast, and I would love for you to share what you've been up to or what has changed in your comedy journey since then.
Well, I'm probably a few years older, number one.
New hairstyle.
Comedically, in the last year or so, I mean, one of the big deal that I really am proud of is my improv group got accepted to the Toronto Sketch Fest in Canada last year. And that was really a lot of fun to be in a whole nother country performing comedy for the first time. It was a great experience. That part of the world is very entrenched in comedy. Toronto Sketch Fest had been going on for it's like 20 years. So it's a very well-established international comedy festival. We got to practice at Second City in Toronto, which looks like a daggone college campus. It was nice.
Wow.
Just within it, it had a 300-seat theater and a 100-seat theater inside of it. It was a lot.
That's incredible.
And I got to open up for Maria Bamford again in Williamsburg.
Oh, that's great.
The same week we finished in Toronto, we came back and we were in the DC Sketch Fest, the inaugural DC Sketch Fest. So we were very busy last year, and I had been in a whole bunch of other comedy festivals myself. So I'm tired.
That is not the first time you've opened up for Maria Bamford. The first time I think you did that, it was in Rowan,
Richmond,
right? Richmond.
It was in Richmond,
Okay.
Richmond at the National Theater. Probably the largest audience I've ever performed in front of is almost 800 people.
That's wonderful.
It was a very great experience. And, this year I was in Last Word Festival in Williamsburg, which is a stand-up and improv festival there at William and Mary. And Just I've been doing a lot of shows, up and down the East Coast. I have been at the Funny Bone in Virginia Beach. I was in a very short limited run called Between Queens with some other Black female comedians, where we performed down at the Virginia Beach Funny Bone, and also up in DC at Busboys and Poets. So I've been doing a lot of things, a lot of things.
That stand up with the other Black females?
Yeah, it was stand up. It was stand up.
Oh, that's great. How many of you?
It was four of us.
Four of us.
Yeah, with some well-known comedians around Apple Brown Betty out of Richmond.
Yes, I've heard of her.
D-Lo out of Baltimore, and Elizabeth McDougall or Liz Barlow.
Yes. Okay.
Out of Virginia Beach.
Well, that sounds like a really fun lineup, actually.
Yeah, we had a good time.
Okay, good.
And we did the questions and answers after the show, so that part was really hilarious.
Questions and answers from the audience or from the host, or both?
Yeah, we were interacting with the audience at the end. It was really wild.
Do you remember any of the wild questions?
I can't say none of that stuff on this podcast. It might be chilling watching. I don't know.
Got you. It sounds like it was a good time nonetheless. Yeah.
It was.
Did you do stand up first? Help me remember if you got it. Where did the improv lead you to stand up or vice versa?
I started improv first.
Okay.
In January of 2015. A lot of comics have we all got a backstory, and it's a lot of times is rooted in trauma.
What makes us funny, ironically. It makes us funny, ironically.
Something like laughing through the pain or something crazy like that.
Yeah.
I think I broke up with somebody, or somebody dumped me, or I dumped I don't know. But in 2015, I saw this thing about taking a intro to improv. I didn't even know there was an improv school around here, because I heard of places like Second City and especially UCB, where I went in New York. And so I just took an improv class, and I really liked it. And so I just kept taking them until I finished all 5 levels here locally.
Wow.
And then a year later, I took the class at the Virginia Beach Funny Bone for stand-up, and I haven't stopped since. I've been blessed enough to have had to stop. So ever since then, I've been doing stand-up, improv, and sketch comedy.
Which do you think is the hardest?
The hardest?
Yeah.
Well, sketch comedy takes a little bit more, because you got to write the sketches. You have to cast the sketches. You have to have props and sound effects and music and all kinds of stuff for sketches. It takes more preparation.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay. So
I love it, because I've been a fan of sketch comedy since I was watching Johnny Carson do his little sketches before his show back when I was a kid.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I used to love those sketches. I got a butt whooping one time because I refused to go to bed until I saw his monologue. Yeah, his monologue, and he used to do those sketches before he started his show.
Oh, how old were you then? Or do you want to say?
Huh?
Do you want to say how old you were?
What now?
How old were you then?
I don't care. I don't know, 10, 11, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What has been your favorite comedy sketch of all time?
I don't know. I mean, I love Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
I've been watching Saturday Night Live all 50 years.
Okay, yeah.
So I started watching it at 14, going on 15. And it's been influential, I think, it's in my psyche. Because I think that's why I like sketch comedy. And there's been so many good sketches over the years on that. I don't know. It's so many. When Richard Pryor was on there and he did the job interview with Chevy Chase, that's a classic.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that vaguely. I'm more familiar with like the cowbell and some other sketches that I really love. But
if you
those two
can remember,
characters alone, just saying that, picturing that makes me laugh.
Yes.
Yes.
It's a famous sketch with Chevy Chase and Richard Pryor, with Richard Pryor's being interviewed for a job as a janitor by Chevy Chase. And they have these word associations, and so it gets wild at the end.
Okay. For you personally, what would you say has been one of your most memorable performances in either one of those three formats?
Let's see. Well, I know one thing I remember is coming to Harrisonburg and getting my first standing ovation.
Yes. At Court Square Theater for the Satellite World
at
Series
the World Series. That's when we first met. We didn't know each other from a can of paint.
We did not. No, I called you and you didn't know me from Adam, and you decided to go for it and come up and participate in that comedy competition, with our event, and you killed it and slayed it and got a standing ovation and won that satellite competition that advanced you in the whole World Series of Comedy event overall.
In my very first stand-up show, after I finished from the Virginia Beach Funny Bone, was opening up for Marsha Warfield. Because she had been gone from the scene for a long time. And I can't remember the producer. It was a producer here locally that was doing stand-up shows way back then in 2016 or then. And I don't know if he saw my stand-up set. He reached out to me and asked me did I want to be on the show. I guess he thought I was so green I wouldn't know what to do. But I was put on that show, and she was very, very gracious, very nice, and she was trying to reestablish her career. And that show was a very successful show. I must have sold like over 50 tickets to it. That's
wonderful. Where was that one?
It was here locally in Virginia Beach. Yep. And, there's been definitely some highlights over the years. I've been was able to perform at the Laugh Factory in Los Angeles. So it's been a lot of things that have happened over the years.
Yeah, and you've been up to New York City a few times for sure and performed.
A whole bunch of times. I performed in probably many of the big clubs in New York City, especially when I've gone up there for the Black Women in Comedy Festival, which this February, I actually produced the festival's first improv show.
Oh, how did that go?
In New York. It went very well. So I selected 6 women that were in the festival that is primarily a stand-up festival. But some of the women that had improv background. So we produced a show in New York City. I mean, I produced it from Virginia and New York. That was hard, but I pulled it off.
Yep. Good job.
And we had a nice size audience. And also I taught an intro to improv workshop during the festival this year.
Oh, really? Okay. And how did that go?
Yeah. Went well. Had about, 15 ladies show up for that. I wanted to direct it to, especially stand-ups didn't know anything about improv because people think they know what it is until they know that it isn't what they think it is.
Well, yeah, let's talk about that for a minute because I have some improv experience and background, not nearly as much as you do, truthfully, but there is a preconception or preconceived notion of what it is. So what do you find that you commonly run into from what people think it is that it's not?
They think improv doesn't require any training. That there is no training. All it is oh, I just get up on stage and just riff.
Mm-hmm.
No.
There's a method or methods.
There's a method, or places like UCB, Second City, the Groundlings, IO. None of these places would exist if all you had to do was just riff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a method to it. And I think I got a lot of good feedback from that festival because people just had no idea. If somebody just gives you a word and you have to be skilled enough to create a whole world out of that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Characters, the way they sound, the way they move, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, the who, what, when, where, the relationship, how old are they? Are they inside?
All of that.
Are we outside? Where are we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. You have to create a whole world based off of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, is the world in one place or is it a bunch of places?
That's true too.
Yeah. Yeah. That's another thing in improv. There's all kinds of styles too. I mean, it's a lot to it.
There is a lot to it. The basic, I remember, principle was the yes and principle. So you're accepting whatever you're given by your partner that just communicated to you. And then
and you got to listen
to that world or to that story.
Yep.
Yeah. Or both. Sometimes you're adding a piece to the story and adding an element to the scene.
Yeah, no matter how ridiculous it sounds. If somebody tells you that there's two cows having a salami sandwich on the moon, then you go with that.
That's right. Which also can lead to great hilarity, obviously, or improv wouldn't exist, and hilarity wouldn't exist without it.
I think it's a wonderful skill to have if you're a stand-up comedian.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Wonderful skill to have.
My thoughts, and I wonder if you agree with why that would be great or would add to it. Obviously with noticing anything that's happening in the room, for example, let's say the waiter's coming through and just drop the tray of food. There's a way with improv experience that you would have some advantage, not necessarily all the time. Everybody's skill level is different. Mm-hmm. But you, with that experience, could have ideas to, recognize the elephant.
Oh, yeah.
Bring people in.
Yeah, you have to be able to react.
Yes.
On the spot.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing, on the spot.
Yes.
And that really does help augment your stand-up.
Yes.
If you tuned in and you really listen to what's going on all around you, the lights, the smells, the sounds, whatever.
What's happening. Absolutely. So that would be my my main idea of the influence of improv in stand-up. Are there other influences that you think improv does to help improve people's stand-up performances other than that, maybe, or not?
I don't know. I mean, it does help you just think off the top of your head and be off the cuff. Once you learn how to package that. Because, I mean, I thought a whole lot of things about me being funny, until I started taking improv, and it gave me a structure to kind of put it in.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. I mean, I suggest to anybody that wants to take it, they ought to. If there's a class around, take advantage of it. Mm-hmm. It will really help you.
It will really help you. Do you feel like the improv and sketch writing has also played a positive influence on your stand-up and your writing?
Yeah. I sometimes some of my premises that I come up with for stand-up, I have turned into full sketches.
Really?
When I expand them. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I write down. Yeah, I have just an idea that pops in my head, and I will write a whole sketch about it.
Okay.
Like this past, one of the things I've done when I created my improv group, I also created a diversity council at the theater where
I do remember that.
Yeah. And so, we do have different kind of shows, theme shows. We have an AAPI show, we have a veteran show, we have an over 40 show. And we also have a big Black History Month show. And one of the ideas, I wrote a sketch. It was an idea or something I saw. A lady engaged herself. She threw a whole party and had
engaged herself. Okay.
Yes, she threw herself a surprise engagement party. I'm like, how the hell do you surprise yourself with something you plan? There's a video out there. I'm like, oh, she crazy.
So this is inspired by a true story.
Unfortunately.
Okay.
But I saw that. I was like, I'm going to write a whole sketch about this. And that's what I did. So we had a whole sketch. We had a whole sketch. I wrote a whole sketch based on this lady surprise engaging herself. And by the end of the sketch, she was getting a divorce
from herself.
Her friends told her, said, "We told you not to marry that woman.
She's nothing but trouble. You should have known." Red flag, red flag.
Yeah.
That's funny. I like that one a lot. With your writing process, do you put your ideas in a phone? Do you write them down? Do you use voice memos? What's your process?
I got a book.
You haven't.
I got a book. I got so many of these notebooks over the years. I got every last one of them. And every so often I will go back through those old books and I look at them like, what in the hell was I thinking?
Done that too. I was like, I thought that was fun.
Like, oh, this idea is awful. What are you thinking?
I know. Huh? I know. We got to put it all down though to find the good ones.
But I tell you what, long time ago, you told me about the School of Laughs. Was it the School of Laughs?
Yes, Rick Roberts, School of Laughs. Yeah.
I want to tell you what, I can't remember what year I did. It was way before the pandemic, but that was one of the best writing experience I ever had.
He's a great comic and a great teacher, Rick Roberts.
Yeah. That and to get the feedback like I did, I have not had a better writing experience than I've had from that. Mm-hmm. Because it broke down, I didn't realize it was so many ways to write. There's alliteration, there's puns, there's current events, there's all kinds of stuff you can pull from.
Yeah.
And you don't think about it. But for me, I'm better in a classroom setting. It worked for me. Mm-hmm. And I still have a whole notebook full. I haven't even used all of that stuff.
Oh, that's good.
But a lot of it I have.
That means you still have more material you can get out there, of course.
I've got a lot of stuff.
Yes.
And I also took a comedy Bible writing workshop with Judy. I forgot her last name.
Right?
Yeah. Carter.
I think so.
I'm having a brain freeze. But
me too.
Yeah. But that class was also good too. But I tell you what, but the one with Rick, that was great. Yeah. I know he stopped doing it. I guess for whatever reasons, but it was a great suggestion. Thank you, because I got so much stuff out of that.
Yes, I highly recommend. He had some health issues. He's recovering from that. So That's good news. He does a great Barney Fife character. That's a big part of it. He kind of looks like too. And so he's done a lot of work that way and as a traditional stand-up. He's great. Yeah.
I have a side story about Barney Fife or Don Knotts. I met Don Knotts' daughter at a comedy festival in Los Angeles.
Oh, that's wonderful. I hear she does stand up too, and I hear she's hilarious.
She does stand up too, and she is very funny, very nice lady.
Yeah, that's what I understand. Yeah.
We exchanged phone numbers. All this. She was really nice.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thought I thought of when she walked away, I said, Don Knotts had sex?
Of course, a comic would go there.
Like,
Apparently, Donna, apparently, yes.
I'm like, Don Knotts didn't exude, a whole lot of sexuality to me. That just proves there's a lid for every pot.
That's exactly right. Different strokes for different folks.
I was like, and she looks just like him.
Does she really? I need to look her up. I hear nothing but great. Oh, yeah. What a legacy too she has for her father. That's incredible. And he has a twin brother, I believe, and from Morgantown, which is where I'm from. So they have a Don Knotts statue in front of the theater. Down in Morgantown. Yeah.
What, West Virginia?
Yeah, West Virginia.
Okay.
That's what I was told. Unless I said the legend is wrong, that's what I was told. So if I'm wrong,
I was
you
like,
can put it in the comments. But I can assure you there is a statue in front of the theater.
Okay.
In Morgantown. I assure you, I've seen it. It is real. So
I was like, wow, Don Knotts had a daughter. Who would have thunk it?
I love that she's carrying the torch. I know. And I'm glad she's carrying the comedy torch. So I need to go check her out. Now you're in Virginia. And what are your thoughts about the Virginia comedy scene right now? Do you feel like it's growing? What are some?
Oh yeah, it's just like a lot of scenes. It's a lot of new comics out here. But when I started taking stand-up comedy, the Virginia Beach Funny Bone was teaching this comedy school, but then a lot of people just start by going to open mics and just going that route. But since then, there's other places that have been teaching stand-up comedy, so there's a lot of new stand-up comics around here.
Same here.
A lot.
Yep, more people are taking our classes, and we see more new faces in the open mics. And honestly, some really funny people are coming through, at least around here. Do you see that there too?
Yeah, but folks have to remember that this is a marathon, not a sprint. And folks think right after they graduate, they're ready for Netflix. And no, baby, you're not.
I know. Isn't that so common, though? You get the early success. I mean, I even can look back at myself thinking the earliest days where I thought I could do more than I could actually do. Pretty quick, though, if you move forward and that's what you are and are not ready for.
I'll never forget it because after I graduated from Funny Bone, the instructor there would always he would always ask me to come back to perform at their grad shows or sometimes come in and talk to the the students or something. And I never get at one grad show, one of the graduates was handing out business cards at his grad show. I'm like, baby, what exactly what's your business right now?
I can do it depending on the grad show. What is it? 5 to 7, 8 minutes, maybe max. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, I got to give it to you for your confidence.
Maybe it'll catch up with him and serve him well after some.
Haven't seen him since.
You have not? Okay.
No. That's what I mean.
Gotcha.
Folks, I don't mind giving folks advice if they ask for it because I'm not that kind of person. But that would be my main thing is like just steady your pace. Keep writing, go to open mics,
Meet people,
These,
look for mentorship.
yeah, meet people and, ask for time, and you got to build experience. And that's the one thing I can't believe it's been 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
But in 10 years, I think I've worked well as far as, building relationships and like with yourself and, getting out here. So now, at 10 years in, now I got to figure out what maybe the next 10 look like.
Mm-hmm. What are some initial thoughts about that, if you don't mind opening up a little?
Lord, in 10 years. Oh, the age I'll be in 10 years. That's scary.
You've seen Susan Rice out there, though, haven't you?
I love her.
Isn't she amazing? So, laughers, if you're not familiar with Susan Rice, look her up. I just learned she's been doing comedy for 41 years. I had no idea, but now it makes total perfect sense watching her because I had just now learned about her. And now, how has she been doing this for 4 decades? And I missed it. She's incredible.
There's so many comedians out here, like, for instance, Kazi's Comedy Club, been in Virginia 32 years. They have some of the funniest comics that you never heard of.
Yes.
They're working comics.
Yes, I've worked down there.
That's corporate stuff. They're doing, I mean, the funniest comics you probably have not heard of. And Susan probably is one, like you said, she's been doing comedy for 41 years. I didn't know who she was until she was on, was it America's Got Talents or something she was on?
Yeah, she did that. And then she has a great Don't Tell comedy video out there right now, too, which is really incredible. I don't know. She is in her early 70s, maybe, I want to say.
Yeah.
70s.
So in 10 years, I'll be 75. Oh, my God.
See, I'm just saying, Susan's out there. So why can't Donna Lewis be out there is what I'm saying to you.
Why not?
Right?
Yeah. Why not? I don't know. I mean, I better figure it out fast.
Time keeps slipping.
Into the future.
You sound better than me. That's okay.
Yeah, I better figure it out fast or I'll be headlining at Altmaier's funeral home.
Even the funeral home could use a few laughs, let me tell you. This world needs.
Oh yeah. And if you're a real comic, funerals are hilarious too.
That's true. That's true. We have a local comic that's new on the scene that her first dipping her foot into doing comedy in front of a live audience that actually inspired her to take our comedy classes was doing the eulogy for a family member. And they had cracked up so much. She's always been a fan of comedy. That experience led her to go, what if I actually did this? What if I actually did stand up? I don't know what I'm doing. So she took a class and now she's on her shows.
There you go.
So to testify to what you're saying. Yeah. And the family loved it. It wasn't, disrespectful. It was well received in a very fond way to remember the person who sounded like had quite a sense of humor, I think, themselves. So that helps. Yeah.
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 Why not?
It's all, we do look at the world very differently, comedians do.
We do. And I've always said anything could be funny. Anything.
Yes.
I don't care how inappropriate it is. You can make it funny.
Yeah. I agree with you 100%. Well, now that you got your 10 years going, right, and you're in this kind of what is in it for me next, maybe America's Got Talent for you in the future. I don't know. I don't know. But in the meantime, what keeps you coming back to the stage again and again now? What fuels your funny?
Just my experiences. Certainly, life be lifing, as the children say.
True.
And so whatever's going on in my life, I write about it.
Okay.
And I put it on stage. Because certainly this year has been not without its roller coaster rides.
No, it hasn't. We've had a minute to talk about that off stage. It definitely has been for you. But look at you. Still upright and standing.
Yeah. Yeah. So one of my bits definitely is about dating and being single over 60.
Ah, there you go. That's gonna be
It's
great.
awful.
It's awful.
I rather French kiss my ex-husband with my eyes open.
I feel you. And now you're going to come back to the stage here, except this time you're going to be at the new comedy club at Massanutten Resort. What can audiences expect on June 19th when I bet most of them may be meeting you for the first time? Which I'm so excited.
Well, one thing, it'll be Juneteenth, and I'll be talking about Juneteenth, and I'll be talking about work. I'll be talking about how the wonderful experiences that one can have when you're over 60 and single. Yeah. What it's like to go back into the office after being, working from home.
Yes, because you worked for NASA during the day, not the astronaut piece of it, but the engineering piece of it. Is that what you do for NASA?
A little bit, yep.
Yeah. So you're the behind the scenes, one of the behind the scenes magic workers over there.
Way behind. Way behind.
But you got to work at home during the pandemic, and now they're transitioning you all back into the workplace. I see. Okay.
Oh, what fun. What fun.
You guys are really loving that, I see.
Oh.
You mean you're not the only one not feeling it?
Oh, yeah. Like I said, one of the things, and I have a whole bit about this, but you'll have to come to the show to see. One thing I'm not missing about coming back to the office are the potlucks.
Really? Why not?
Because you know, Carol Ann been home these last 5 years cooking with cat hair. Now she want to bring it into the office. I don't want cat hair casserole. Carol. That's alliteration. And that is your lesson today on alliteration.
Do you feel you were, and do your colleagues feel, I don't want to speak for them per se, but maybe if they've shared this, do you feel that you all have been more productive working from home versus going into the office? Do you feel like you get more work done at home?
Yes.
Okay.
Because whether they realize it or not, I was doing more than 8 hours because I could log on at 11 o'clock at night and check emails and answer them.
Okay. So that's part of the frustration, is feeling that you
But the folks I feel the saddest for is some folks, were they have to travel long distances just to go sit in the office all day. Now. Yeah. So I feel for some of these folks, and you have it's been given the idea that somehow people weren't productive, when they were at home, which was far from the case.
I see. Yeah.
I know all the projects I supported still launched and researched and built and did whatever they needed to do over the last 5 years. Mm-hmm. Not one beat was missed, but we're weathering the storm.
There we go.
We're weathering the storm.
That's right. People are very resilient. You're definitely one of those resilient people. So, speaking of resilience, you are also very fun. So I would like to play a game with you before we get out of here and share with people how they can follow you on social media.
I like games, especially games of chance. I got the casino.
Yes, and laughers, we're introducing the game elements here with, our guests coming up, including Donna Lewis. So, Donna, this is the Laugher Lightning Round, where you will answer 5 questions. as
Okay.
fast and as weirdly as you would like.
Okay.
Okay, are you ready? Okay.
Sure.
First question.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Let me
okay.
let me throw the F bomb. Let me throw the F bomb away. Okay.
I appreciate that, Donna. Okay. All right. Number 1, worst gig snack you have ever been handed at a show. So in the green
Snack. One thing I could remember and being in this old musty theater in a little town in North Carolina. I don't want to name them. But the one, I don't know if it was a snack, but it was the smell, because it smelled like an old Civil War pile of feet in there.
That does not smell great at all. Okay.
No,
Was that in the green room or in the theater as a whole?
the whole theater. I couldn't eat
Okay.
if I wanted to.
Okay. Got you. Okay, next question. If your comedy style were a cocktail, what would it be called?
How about a Manhattan? Because that's where I'm from.
Ah, I love it. Okay, great. What would you play in the movie version of your comedy career?
The movie version?
Yeah.
Medea swings a bat.
Oh, that's actually fantastic for you. Okay, I love that. Fourth question. What's a bit you've retired and don't say anymore, but you still miss?
I don't know. Have I retired anything? It's some things I forgot. Because some things I do bring back depending on the time of year or whatever. I have this funny lifeguard joke that I like doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I might bring it back because it's getting ready to be summertime.
Yeah. Maybe.
Have I retired anything?
I don't know.
Some stuff I still tell is 10 years later, but it's still appropriate. People still laugh.
There you go. Okay. No retired bits for Donna laughers, and maybe we'll hear the lifeguard bit on June 19th. You'll have to get a
Maybe.
Find that out. All right, last one. Finish this sentence. Laughing is
Therapeutic.
yes. I agree 100%. And laughers, that's our Laugher Lightning Round. I had fun with you doing that, Donna. How can the laughers, before we close out, follow you on social media or otherwise to get more information?
Find comedian Donna Lewis on all platforms.
Yes.
Let me see, on Instagram and Facebook primarily. My website needs updating. Don't look at it. My TikTok has a couple of videos on it, and my YouTube also. Oh, child, I need an assistant.
Yeah, I
to
feel
fix all this stuff up. That's what I need to do. That direction.
That's it.
After
Get you
10
some
years,
side help.
maybe I can update my website.
Yeah, you can.
Anybody out there need to help a sister out?
See, if you're looking for some side work, get in touch with Donna Lewis and help her with her web.
Please.
And some of the admin work that needs done on the side.
Can you get the 100 videos off this phone?
Put them on YouTube and make them look nice, please. Then, thank you.
Yes, I need help.
We all need
And
help.
I work at NASA. I'm supposed to be technically okay with all this, but
It's a lot. I know. We're all in it together. It's a lot. So think about that, laughers. There's so many pieces of the puzzle. Back in the day when people did comedy, they went up there and they did comedy, and not that that's not nothing.
didn't have to worry about going viral.
Exactly. Or having
Unless they
X
had a
amount
really
of
bad cold.
followers and all of these other things, and learn how to cut video or find somebody who can, or both. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you for joining us today, Donna, and sharing your comedy journey with us and your life with us and playing with us today, doing the game. It's truly been a pleasure to have you on. Thanks again for coming on the show.
Thank you, everybody. Have a good day.
Yes, have a good day. And thank you, Laughers, for tuning in today and being with us and having taken the time to do this means so much to me. I really appreciate you all so much. If you liked it, please share, subscribe, tell a friend. We're evolving and growing with you, and we can't express enough how much it means your support. So also remember the free audiobook that's waiting for you in the link in the show notes. And when you sign up for a free trial with Audible, we'll get a little kickback to keep the show moving and growing with you. Thank you so much. And lastly, and most importantly, thanks for tuning in, Laughers. Out of all the podcasts out there, you picked us, and we think that's pretty darn special, just like you. Until next time, keep smiling. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Virginia is for Laughers podcast, brought to you by the Funny Womack and Friends. We'll be dropping a new podcast every Wednesday, so check back for another uplifting episode. Come to a FWAF show or let us bring one to you. To find out more, head to thefunnywomacks.com. Be sure to share this podcast with a friend, and until next time, cheers.